I think I got trust issues.
I think so too.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Lena.
And your boy Kev.
And we are back for More Lovers Under Construction, episode 2.
Today's topic is trust issues.
Let's get right into it. So, how do you feel about friends of the opposite sex?
I don't feel like it's a big deal. I personally wouldn't have any issue with my girl having a friend of the opposite sex.
So, do you have friends of the opposite sex?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few friends of the opposite sex.
Okay.
But I don't talk to them on a daily. They respect the fact that I'm in a relationship.
So, what if they didn't respect the fact you were in a relationship and didn't care about her feelings or how you felt about talking to them on a daily and they,
Well, it depends on how I'm communicating with them. Like, do I have them on social media? Do they have my number? And I would have to have a conversation with them and let them know you doing too much. Like, you need to fall back. And if they can't respect that, at that point, I would have to block them.
So, do you think that's a true friend who can't respect your relationship?
No, at that point, that's obviously somebody that's attracted to me,
Right.
possibly, potentially attracted to me.
Absolutely. And I feel the same too, guys. If your significant other have a best friend that's an opposite sex and obviously they can't understand or respect your relationship, that means they cannot respect you. And that's somebody who does not need to be in your life. Because I don't play those games. My man know what it is, you know. So no issues like that over here, but definitely guys pay attention.
So you run a relationship, you got them in check.
I would like to think so. No, but guys, seriously, but definitely that is communicated with your partner. Make sure it is communicated that, everybody's on the same page.
All right, so something I'm dealing with is the whole password thing to my phone.
Okay.
I feel that my phone is my phone. I pay the bill. So I do as I please. As long as I'm not disrespecting my girl or doing anything to put our relationship in jeopardy, I don't feel like she should have my password.
Mm-hmm. So, does your girlfriend have trust issues?
We've had a discussion before. We've talked before about it, and she expressed to me that she's been through things in the past that leads to her having trust issues. But I was trying to explain to her that this is something new. Like, you can't move based on how you've been done in the past. Like, I get it. I respect it. And I have to be honest. We have been through things that have led to trust issues.
So, is it safe to say that's why she feels the need to have your password?
Yeah, I get that. But for me, I don't want her password. Like, I don't care to have her password.
That's you, though. Do you have trust issues?
No, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to trust you until you do something crazy to maybe not want to trust you anymore.
And when someone does that something crazy to make you not want to trust them, then what? What do you do?
At that point, I will have to gain their trust back. And we had to have
You mean they will have to gain your trust back?
Right.
But it pretty much would be on your terms, correct?
On my terms?
As to how they would gain your trust back. You would want them to do certain things to gain your trust back, right?
Right, but we have to have that conversation to see what can be done to gain
exactly.
it back.
So maybe that is something she feels like should be done until the trust is gained.
I get it. So she's in my phone. She got my password.
Okay.
Now, social media, that also requires a password.
Yeah, it does.
So I feel like that's another thing that's personal and private. Like, that's my page. It says my name. It's my friends. So why does she feel the need to go through that too.
It
And when
goes
she
back to the
when
same
she
thing.
but she has her own. Like at that point, I feel like she's
Yes, she has her own, but at the same time, if whether it's the woman or the man, if they're in a relationship and they feel like trust was betrayed, they're going to want to make sure trust is no longer being betrayed, especially if they gave you the second chance
right,
to prove that. They
right.
want to make sure, they're doing it right. They want to make sure their time isn't being wasted for the second time.
But
Let's be
can't
clear, life is too short.
can that lead to issues too though? If because in a sense,
It
I feel
leads to
like,
issues if you allow it to.
but in a sense, I feel like she's going and looking for things. Like I feel like she's causing her own.
It depends. I feel like if the person is going through your phone, your social media, your personal pages and whatnot, and it's something recent, they have every right to be mad, to feel some type of way. But if it's things of nature in your phone that are old, then no. I don't know if that's what you're getting at, but
Yeah, that has been an issue too. Like
okay.
she went through my phone, and I'm not a person that deletes things because it's my phone, it's my personal phone. So
It seems like
there's
that's a touchy subject for you. You saying my kind of hard.
yeah, it is. It's my phone. Like,
My phone.
yeah, and just like it's her phone. So let's say she's in my phone and she sees something from my past, like you said, and she gets mad about that.
Mhm.
How do I handle that situation?
I mean, you definitely would have that conversation like any sane, civilized adult. Let her know that's the past. She shouldn't be hanging that over your head. That's the past because it's the past. It's if it wasn't before her,
Okay, so
if it was before her, excuse me, or not during her, she shouldn't be upset
I hear
about it.
what you're saying, but we I've done that before and we addressed it, talked about it, and a couple or a few days later or a week later, she'll bring it up, throwing shots, trying to be funny. Is that
I
okay?
think I think we all do that. I think we all hit below the belt when we're in relationships. Nobody's perfect. But I feel like if it's getting to the point, guys, where your significant other is going through your phone and your social media and all those things and it's causing other issues, then maybe you should have some other conversation and see if the issue can be fixed. And if not, really reevaluate the whole relationship.
So we said friends of the opposite sex. What about a best friend of the
Hmm.
opposite sex?
That makes it more trickier.
Yeah, because I have a girl best friend, and let's say me and her want to hang out one weekend, like on
Okay.
a Friday night or a Saturday night. Should my girl feel the need to have to tag along, or is that something that
It
me and my
depends
best
on the
friend?
level of trust in a relationship. I feel like, because me personally, I have a male best friend. And if my man didn't trust me and he's not comfortable with me hanging out with this guy by myself, then hey, I guess I won't be hanging out with him.
Right, but my girl, I don't care if she hangs out with her guy best friend, long as she not doing nothing she shouldn't be.
Well, do you trust her?
Yeah,
Okay.
until she does something to lose my trust or has me questioning that friendship, then
Exactly. And going back to the conversation we were having previously, from what you've told me, it seems like she doesn't trust you. So, I mean, of course, she wouldn't be okay with the idea of you hanging out with a friend of the opposite sex
okay.
because
So
that trust isn't
what
established.
about the fact that I let my girl know that my best friend has a whole boyfriend, a whole dude?
And that's another thing. People tend to think just because you have a title with someone, that does not necessarily mean there's going to be loyalty there. It's 2017. Look at all the stories you've heard and seen. You know what I'm saying? People who go through things. Not saying that's something you would do,
Right.
but in her head, that's what's going on. Especially if she has trust issues. Anything you can't put anything past anyone at all.
But what about the fact that I've had a conversation with my best friend, and I asked her, is she attracted to me? Like, does she have any type of feelings for me? And she said no. And she asked me the same, and I said no too.
Okay.
Like, what if I told my girl that. I expressed that to my girl, and she not trying to hear it. Like she still want to go. She still want to tag along. How should I handle that?
I mean, if it's putting you through that much trouble, you might as well not even push the issue of going until the trust is established. I mean, if it's causing that much trouble.
So what if my best friend feels, in a sense, neglected, or that I'm acting funny
First
or
of
acting some
all,
type
if
of?
that's your best friend, the conversation should be had as to what's going on and that you need to get things right within your relationship. And if it's a best friend that's really close to you, they'll understand and respect that.
Is that a conversation that the three of us should sit down and have, or just me and my girl, just
It,
me and
it
my best
doesn't
friend?
really matter as long as the conversation is had.
Okay, so let's say me and my best friend had planned to go to the movies Friday night,
Okay.
and my girl tags along. Me being the guy, being that my girl is there and my best friend is there, I don't want either one of them to feel like the third wheel. Like me and my best friend might have inside jokes and stuff that we've been having for years, and my girl might feel left out. Like, oh, what's so funny? Oh, like, what is they laughing at? Are they talking about me? Are they laughing at me? And then on the other hand, I could be hugged up and kissed up with my girl, and my best friend could feel like, why am I here? If y'all gonna do that, y'all could have
Okay.
went on
I
your
feel
own date.
like, first of all, you're grown, right? She's grown. They're both grown.
That's a fact.
And they all should be able to feel like they can have a good time together. You know, it shouldn't really be any inside jokes. You know, if you know, well, it's a joke in your head, you know what you're going to say before you say it. If you know it's a joke in your head or vice versa that you feel like a person will not understand, then don't say it. Again, it's for everybody to enjoy and have a good time. For it shouldn't have to be just, oh, just these two or these two. Why can't everybody have a good time collectively as a group?
At that point, I would feel like I'm not being real. I would feel like I can't be myself.
No, it's
How
not about being yourself. It's about making an adult executive decision. It's not about not being yourself and not being real. Like, you can have a good time without having inside jokes. I just feel like,
But
I
that's
don't know.
what friendships consist of. Like y'all got your own little inside jokes and stuff. Y'all experience stuff
Okay,
together.
so
Y'all
you're
been through
speaking in
stuff
terms of
together.
the friendships. What about the girl? What if your girl start feeling neglected? Then what?
She should have stayed home.
See? But by you saying that, it's like you already leaning towards the side of the friendship, and that's a problem. Then you need to reevaluate your relationship.
Okay, then what if I'm having inside jokes and stuff with my girlfriend? My best friend should have stayed home.
It is what it is. Because you ain't trying to please your best friend. You with your
Hey,
girlfriend.
right, but the from the jump, it was established that me and my best friend were going out to have a best friend night.
Shouldn't matter if your girl there though. It
It's
would
a,
bother you that much?
it wouldn't bother me, but
Then what's
like
the
I said, if
problem?
my girl was hanging out with her best friend, I'm not gonna want to go with them. I want them to have that time together. That's her best friend.
Okay, and again, I don't know if you're missing it or not understanding it, but it's the trust.
Okay,
She
so
doesn't trust you, Kev. She don't trust you, Kev. Let it go.
all right,
Let it
so
go, Kev.
look. So if I'm going out with the guys, if we're having a guys' night and we about to watch a fight and order pizza and stuff, my girl wouldn't want to tag along then. So is it solely because my best friend is a female?
Exactly. The opposite sex. That's right. Especially if the trust is not there.
So it's safe to say that my girl has trust issues.
You should know that. Does she have trust issues? So, how would you feel about it if she's going out with, say, a guy best friend who liked her? Doesn't currently, but liked her. How would you feel about that?
It's funny you brought that up
Okay.
because my girl, she does have a guy best friend, and they've been friends for years, going back to high school. And me and my girl having a conversation one day, and she told me that her guy best friend admitted that he had feelings for her and that he wanted to be more than friends. And to this day, they're still friends. So is it right for me to feel some type of way about that friendship or look at it funny?
How would you feel about it if they did go out? Like, how would you feel about it? And you said would doubts be in your mind about
Of
their
course.
friendship?
Right. Because I'm questioning how could that still be your best friend if they want you in a deeper way, a more
So,
intimate way.
is it safe to say you have trust issues as well?
I guess so. What can I do to gain that trust back? How do we gain that trust back?
Right. And that's definitely a conversation that you should have with your girl and that anybody else who's having trust issues with their significant other should have. What can be done to repair things as far as the trust department goes? I think the biggest thing we all will agree is be open and be honest about things and situations.
Is there a certain instance as to where the trust just absolutely might not be able to be repaired? Like, is it worth all the stress, all the frustration, or should you let it go?
If it's to the point where you guys feel like there's absolutely no solution and you can't fix it, and amongst that, other ways that the trust can be restored is being reassuring.
What do you mean by being reassuring?
If it's something they're questioning or they're worried about, reassure them that they don't have to. Show them that you're trying, and not even necessarily through your words, but your actions.
So, how much reassuring does a woman need? Because I reassure my girl plenty of times, and it's like it's just never enough reassuring. It's like every day I have to continuously reassure. Like she'll ask me, "Who are you talking to? Who are you messaging? Who are you on the
Right.
phone with?" I'm like, "Nobody, nobody, nobody." And then she'll ask me like 5 more times. Like, it's frustrating to me.
Well, how do you deal with that? It can't be that bad, Kev. You still with her.
Yeah, I'm still with her, but it's very frustrating to me and it's very stressful to me. But at the same time, I understand that I've done things to lead to those questions being asked.
Right.
So I tend to try to have patience with her
Hmm.
and continue to reassure her, and hopefully things will get better.
Right. And that's another thing, ladies and guys, those of you who are struggling with trust issues, if the person, that has betrayed your trust, you chose to stick it out with them and still be with them, don't hang things over their head, guys, and don't sweep it under the rug that they are trying. Because, it's hard for you guys as it is that the trust was going. Don't make it harder by throwing things in their face or not realizing when they're doing their part. So that takes me to ask a very important question. Can a relationship survive without trust?
My answer would have to be no, it can't. It can't work because it'll always be a sense of uncertainty and unsure, and that's not a healthy relationship. It's toxic at that point. If it's no trust, you don't have nothing.
I believe a relationship can survive without trust. I feel like it has to be two people willing to try to build the trust back, and the love has to be there strong enough.
Is it really love, or is it a strong attraction or lust,
You
or
can
is
love
it
somebody and not trust them.
or
Don't
is
get it
it
twisted.
or is it you don't want to be by yourself? Could it be that like you feel like you need a man or you?
Need a girl.
Yeah, right.
Again, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I have been through a lot of situations where I love somebody to the ends of the earth, but I ain't trust them. I didn't trust them.
So
And
how
a part of it wasn't the fact that I didn't trust them. They weren't trying to gain my trust back.
how did that end up? Are you got like what happened?
I want somebody new. I want somebody new. It didn't work out too well. I mean, yeah, the love was there on my end, but I can't say if it was there on their end for the simple fact they weren't really trying to build my trust back. Okay, so guys, as far as the trust issues and everything in that nature, if there are things that are going on and they can be repaired and you guys can work together collectively as a team to get you guys back in a better place, by all means, do the work and make sure you guys are happy together. But if not, it's best to just go your separate ways. All right, guys. So that concludes this episode of Love is Under Construction. We hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, leave a comment. Let us guys know what you think. It's your girl, Lena.
Yeah, boy, Kev.
Thanks for listening.
All right, now y'all know what time it is. It's time for that You Need to Stop award. Today's You Need to Stop award was a bit of a toss up because there are two candidates in this story who could potentially get the award. But earlier this year, back in January, there was an incident that happened at a mass. About 100 people inside, and as a bishop was, talking, there's a man with an all white suit strolling down the middle aisle. And what happened? He punched the bishop in the face. This man was identified as Charles Miller, and everyone in the community said that he was well known, and Bishop Manuel believed that the man had some type of mental issue. But what I later found out is that this man was a pimp, and Bishop Manuel Cruz didn't pay his hoe. So he had to go get his money. Now, when it's time to go collect, it's time to go collect. You ain't trying to hear nothing. And he did disrespect his hoe, and he should technically be the only one doing that. So I would give him the You Need to Stop award. I mean, he was disrespectful by coming to the church during mass, like he was going to the club. But I gotta give him respect for pulling up in an all pink Cadillac. So, and it would just be all too easy to give him the You Need to Stop award. So, the You Need to Stop award goes to Bishop Cruz. Why? Because he's supposed to be a leader, and he's supposed to lead by example. So, what is he doing with the prostitute? And he didn't pay her. And for him to try to flip it and make it seem like he didn't do anything, and like the man was just absolutely crazy for punching him, that's not the case. Just be real with the congregation and let them know what you did. You confess your sins. Had you just paid her, you wouldn't have got stitches in your mouth, and you would have been able to keep your dirty secret. But now you got some explaining to do. Bishop Cruz,